Okay, I'm going to try this again. This is the lumber, the African mahogany that I use to build the boat. This is the frame it's going to be built on. A 12-degree angle on the back where the transom will fit. And the boat will be built over the top of this. It will come down to this point where the breast hook will attach to make the point of the boat. So that's the length it will be. Okay, that's the beginning. Thanks for watching my video. Okay, I think I've got this pretty well lined up. The edge of the board is right here. And the corner is right there. So I'm going to try to just trace out this shape. See how it looks. My hand is pretty shaky, so I guess I'll just mark here where this stops. Since I'm not really going to cut that. I think I'll use a straight edge on those long spaces. Forgot to mention I lined up underneath here transfer paper on top of the board, basically carbon paper, so that the design will go through to the wood. Get a straight edge. This flashlight, don't worry about that. And I'm going to lay it up here to make these straight lines. Okay. Now that theoretically will be that half. Take this off. I had my paper taped down so it wouldn't move on me. This is transfer paper that I bought from Glen-L Marine. So we do have a pattern. It's pretty light, but it is there. I don't know if you can see it. Try to get you, oops, sorry, get you a little closer. See if you can see the blue line pattern there. Where we'll be cutting out. Okay, well, see if I can maybe darken that up a little, and then we'll try to cut it out. Okay. Okay, I've turned it over now. I'm looking at the back side of the plan, so it will be the opposite of what I just did on that side. I taped the transfer paper down onto the wood. I've got the edge of it right here. And I've got the line where it divides set up right here. I'm going to trace around these cutouts. Well, these are where this is where the keel will go through, and these are where the battens will go through. And this notch is where the chine will go through, I believe. The chine log. I'm going to mark this up because it doesn't go quite to the end. Straight edge for the bottom marks. That theoretically should be that. So we'll flip it over, I'll darken the lines, and then I'll take measurements and make sure they are what they should be. Okay. Okay, there's the first piece. That is the bottom of frame 1. Sides will be attached here with plywood gussets. I wanted to cut it on the bandsaw, but it wouldn't fit once I got up to about here, so I had to use a jigsaw. I don't care too much for it. It's kind of makes kind of a rough cut, but I went over it with a file, and I think it'll work. It'll go approximately there. So we'll see what happens next. Alright, now I've got the side pieces cut out and placed where they're going to go in the final assembly of frame number 1. There will be some plywood gussets that go on these corners, which I don't have the plywood for yet, so that'll be in another edition. Once those are attached, that will be a completed frame 1. Okay, now I have cut out here 3 pieces of the frame number 2. These 2 will be bolted through here when they're assembled, and then there will be 2 more pieces that come up here with a space in the middle for the stem to go through. Sorry. Okay. Okay, this morning I spent a couple hours and I got all the gussets cut out and attached. They hopefully are pretty close to where they're supposed to be because they're epoxy and they ain't going anywhere. I'm not too confident about it, but we'll just see how it goes, I guess. Frame number 1 here is right about where it's going to go. I've also got a miserable cold today, and it's really hot and muggy. So I'm going to go ahead and rest a while. That's where we are at this point. Thank you. Okay, frame number 2 is actually finished now, and it's placed here where it's going to go. It's not attached yet, but it will be screwed in there, and this will be attached. I think I'm going to get some more 2x4 and make a frame for this to attach to, so that it won't wobble around when we're bending the chine. Okay. Okay, now we've got a breast hook here, needs to be laminated together. Got the stem here, it needs to be laminated together. And we have the transom knee, which also needs to be laminated together. We'll have to mix up a lot of glue to do that, so I may wait till I have a little more time. And that's where we are today. I think this is almost all of the 3/4 inch plywood I'll need to use. So I think once I get these laminated together, I'm going to start setting things up on the frame and see how it goes from there. Okay. Okay, these 3 pieces are all now epoxied and nailed together. When those dry, I will probably go ahead and attach this to the breast hook, because once I get the breast hook on the frame down here, it would be really hard to get under it and attach the screws to go into that. So that's the plan from here forward. Okay, now I put these blocks here for frame number 1 to set in. This is one of those things they don't really tell you on the instructions. They just say attach frame 1 to the form with blocks. That's all they tell you. So I guess they don't want to spoil it for us shade tree engineers, so we can figure something out for ourselves. So this is what I've done. I've put 2 blocks here on either side so that the frame will slide in where it goes. And I put this down here to catch the vertical pieces of the frame so that it can mount. I'll show you what I mean. Here's frame 1. Theoretically, it will sit like that. And then I'll make sure it's perfectly centered. And then I'll put a couple of screws, a screw on either side, so that it won't move when we get ready to put the longitudinals on. Hopefully that'll be sturdy enough that it won't wobble on me. Alright, I'll go from there. Okay, I'm not very good at this recording stuff, so I apologize. I just spent 10 minutes talking to myself because the camera wasn't recording. Okay, tonight I attached the breast hook to the stem, which is right there. It is epoxied on there and it's screwed in from the bottom. That's not where it goes. It doesn't go on the transom. It actually goes up here in the front. Like that. And the keel will fit in here and go all the way back to the transom right there. And the breast hook will eventually attach down there. So that's the way it will look. I guess I forgot to put on video these other pieces. This is the transom, of course. It's attached with 4 screws into the form so it can be easily removed once the hull is finished. Frame number 1 is attached with a screw on each side here, and then it's just wedged between these blocks up here. It makes it very sturdy, but it will come loose easily. I can reach up under when the hull is finished and take those screws out. Same goes up here with frame number 2. It's wedged in up here with these blocks, and then it's screwed in down here, and those 2 I can reach under and take out. Okay, so that's where we are tonight. Again, the stem is not attached. I just set it there so you can see where it goes, and we'll see where it goes from there. Good night. Okay, I had a bit of a fight tonight with this thing. I attached the stem to frame number 2, and I ripped a piece for the keel and got that. It worked out perfectly. But here's the stem. It's fastened with a couple of screws down there, and then up here it is epoxied and it's got a couple of silicone bronze screws in there that will stay there. Had a terrible time getting that to line up correctly. I came up with this. I screwed a block of wood on here so that I would have somewhere to clamp, and hopefully that'll work. And I had to make the keel fit properly, I had to deepen these slots slightly. And if you don't have one of these, if you're doing this kind of work and you don't have one of these guys, you better get one, because it is priceless. I was able to just slice right in there like that, come down from the top, go in from the back, and it just popped right out of there, just slick as a whistle. So they usually have a little triangle sander on it, and that's cool too, but this little cutter blade is amazing. Get one. That was from Harbor Freight. It's cheap. Okay, I will let that set up, and then I'll probably go ahead and set the keel in place. It will be screwed in here, here, and over here. Okay, thank you. Good night.